Hello students, I hope you're all doing good. So today's class we'll be discussing about the new trends in marketing. Okay. Now when we're talking about trends, we simply refer to the various changes that have taken place in the marketing domain. Now we know, right? Today, the world has become more globalized, where we have the entry and exit of several firms. As a result, we as consumers are thrown open to a lot of products and services which are entering our continent, right? Apart from this, when we talk about trends and marketing, we will have to always know what are the various new products that are being made available in the market. Just try to check if there are alternatives and then accordingly drive your behavior towards the right product which is offered in the market. Okay. So in trends of marketing or trends in marketing, we are just trying to understand what have been the latest developments and latest changes in the domain of marketing and how has that helped consumers to get to know the different products and different services and also to fetch the best of products and services in the market. Okay, so students, we will start off with the session. Okay, now when we discuss about the new trends in marketing, we will have to list out the various new concepts of marketing which is associated with the trends. Now look at here, we have different trends. Number one, there is something called as digital marketing, and then green marketing, viral marketing, social marketing, buzz marketing, and finally network marketing or multi-level marketing. Okay, so these are the major trends that we could see that have taken place in the domain of marketing. Now this is not it. In the field of marketing, there are still new more trends coming up which is still in the process of research, so you can expect some more new trends to come up in the near coming future. So let us discuss each of these trends one by one. The first is we will have to discuss about digital marketing. Now, we all know that today we live in a very digital space, right? So everything today has taken the online form or the virtual medium. Even businesses and brands today feel that conducting their business operations, conducting their commerce and trade activities online is proven to be more effective because it breaks several barriers. It can be geographical barriers, it can be time barriers, right? So you don't have to necessarily go to a person, I mean to say a marketer, talk to him, get to know what he offers, and then click a deal with him. There is no need of physical presence of people to conduct any sort of exchange or transaction, right? So digital marketing is that particular phase or area where we are getting to know how marketing takes place on the digital platforms so that you can effectively connect with a lot of online customer traffic which is available in the online platforms, right? So let us discuss some more points in detail. Now when we talk about digital marketing, we are specifically referring to the marketing that is taking place through search engines or official websites of brands or even using your social media tools or social media vehicles, including email and mobile apps. So these are all the various ways or the modes through which digital marketing initiatives are taken by a lot of companies. Now apart from this, the digital space is very obvious that it creates a lot of growth opportunities for several brands. Now if you see, you don't need a physical store where you can showcase your products in the retail shelves today. Everything can be digitalized, everything can be showcased online through your web portals, and through that you can cater to the requirements of the market. Now if you're talking about major brands like Amazon, Flipkart, and Zoe, these are certain brands where they have their online presence and they try to effectively leverage upon the digital marketing media. That is what is helping them to better connect to the world and also to better increase their sales volumes. Okay, apart from this, going by certain facts, you can say that around 48% of consumers start their inquiries on search engines. Okay, it can be Google, or it can be Yahoo, whatsoever it be, or even Bing for that matter. So around, according to research, they say around 48% of consumers start the inquiries on search engines, and the remaining 33% would obviously go and visit the brand websites to get authentic and specific information, because in websites we get much more personalized information which is going to help a lot of consumers in the market, so they get a hand on understanding of what actually is being offered by every single brand. Got it? Apart from that, if you can see that there are 26% search which happens through your mobile applications. So we all have these handheld devices called as mobiles, and using our mobile phones through various apps, that is also one of the area where you can actually conduct some sort of commerce internet activity. You can buy and sell products and services, right? Now, apart from this, there is also another topic called as omni-channel digital marketing strategy. Now, what do we mean by omni-channel digital marketing strategy? Now, this is a way, this is a methodology wherein there are a lot of brands where they connect with a lot of other people now through various digital platforms and medias. Okay, it's like you can leverage upon different digital platforms and medias through which you create a multiple layer of channels. Through that, you'll be able to easily connect with the market. Okay, so in omni-channel, you are actually talking about placing your product on different digital platforms through which you can connect with different consumers and customer bases, and as a result your reach and your exposure to different customer segments and markets is going to be high. That is the reason we say, if you really want to find good amount of success in the digital marketing domain, then you will have to use something called as omni channel digital marketing strategy. Okay, so this particular channel is well proven for increasing the customer engagement levels. Now, you might ask me a question: what do we mean by customer engagement? Customer engagement is a process wherein you are trying to identify the multiple touch points in the digital space, and through these touch points, you are trying to connect with the consumers and keep them loyal, keep them associated with you for a very long period of time. For example, if you're talking about digital platforms like and social media, or if you're talking, to be very specific, if you're talking about YouTube, or if you're talking about Facebook or whatsoever. Now, these are all the various avenues where companies can actually create a connection between themselves and the market, right? So using these kind of multiple channels, automatically what happens is you can keep the customers engaged with you. Every now and then, whenever you're introducing a new product, you can share that information through these websites or search and websites or social media platforms, or you can share it on your Instagram, your Instagram page, or you can share it on your YouTube channel, or you can also share it through your own websites where you can give this information to the market. So accordingly, customers get to know what is being offered by the brands, and you can also share a lot of information in the ways of creating good content about your product to just give that a very good reach to the market. So that is also something which companies use in order to keep the customers very engaged. Okay, there should be this constant communication that should take place. Even though we are talking about digital platforms, even there you can effectively connect with a lot of customers. If you see, there are a lot of companies where they create chat box where you can actually talk to the concerned marketer. You can also talk to the service personnel and get your queries settled, right? So these kind of avenues are being created just to make sure that you have a best strategy in the market, and you also know how to effectively engage your customers with you, right? Apart from this, if you see, omni-channel, when a company has a strong omni-channel customer engagement strategy, these strategies will help you to retain an average of 89% of their customers, compared to those companies which do not use omni-channel programs. So they will have a retention rate of just 33%. But when you can actually use omni-channel, because it is connecting to multiple touch points of the digital space, so that is automatically going to give you very good retention rates, and it is also going to increase your engagement levels and so on, right? Apart from this, if you talk about one brand called Forbes, right? Forbes is also into magazine, right? Forbes magazine. So they have forecasted that social media will become increasingly conversational in the B2B space. Now, B2B, we are talking about business marketing or industrial marketing. So apart from the regular market where you have your customers, I'm talking about individual households and so on, and consumers like you and me. If you're talking about B2B marketing, it is that area where there is going to be a transaction taking place between two organizations or two business establishments. So initially, if you see, the transaction that could take place between two business establishments was just only limited to the contracts or the agreements. But today, because of the digital space that we are living in, we can practically, through the virtual medium, you can actually connect with your your prospective buyers, your dealers, your distributors. You can have a conversation with them. You can connect with them in a much more in a personal way, all thanks to the digital medias, right? And apart from that, if you see, video content will be refined for search engine optimization. So search engine optimization is a concept wherein we talk about organic search, inorganic search, pay per click, and many concepts like that. Now, these are all things which will automatically help you to specialize your message, customize it, and give it to the market. Now, this is something that is actually in trend today, because these are the ways in which you can actually create a good niche for yourself in the market. Apart from that, if you see, email marketing will become even more personalized, because there are a lot of companies who have already initiated by sending personalized emails to us, right? Whenever we visit a good store in the sense I'm talking about a posh store, uh, an exclusive showroom, so they will definitely source in our email IDs, our contact numbers, and so on. So through that, they are going to share their exclusive messages, which are going to be much more personalized, and it is very specific to every single investor. I'm talking about consumers as investors here. Got it? So this is how we understand the concept of digital marketing and its relevance to the market, or say to the marketers as well as the customers. Apart from that, when we talk about digital marketing, we will have to know certain basic aspects. So digital marketing includes all these things: search engine optimization, where we talk about, organic search, inorganic search, pay per click, and these kinds of concepts are basically very technical to understand. And let me also tell you, students, if you can learn these skills, and if you can know how to work on SEO and SEM, that is something which has good career prospects also. Okay. And then if you see, there are other things, like there are companies where they make their own videos to just give a very good outlook about their products and what they offer, and this video is being shared to various digital platforms. So this will automatically create a good reach in the market, and you can see that a lot of consumers would want to come and see what you offer, and there will also be chances where you can increase your sales volume through that process as well. And then we are also talking about mobile and tablet. So there are several brands in today's context, or in today's world, where they are trying to take advantage of these kind of handheld devices like mobiles and tablets. So through that, you can actually share a lot of your information. You can create a market base through that. You can send personalized messages in the form of text messages, or there are companies where they identify your location, and in that given location, they are trying to send you their messages through your mobiles. So this is also something which can create a very good reach in the market. And obviously, yes, companies will have to focus on return on investment, because when you don't analyze the prospects, you will also not be in a position to get to know what is the returns that you get and what you shell out or what you invest, right? So in digital marketing, you should be very precise about how much you spend on your digital activities and digital marketing strategies, and you should also estimate the expected return out of it, right? So return on investment is also something which is very important to be considered by digital marketers. And search engine marketing is basically a process where you are trying to take advantage of search engines like Google and Yahoo and Bing and so on, through which you are going to give your marketing, you're going to share your marketing message, right? And let me also tell you this: in search engine marketing, every time there is something called as paid search and unpaid search. Now, paid search is nothing but you have to contact Google. For example, when you're talking about a brand like Google, so you will have to contact them, and then you will have to make sure that you place your business first when they start searching for a particular type of product or service, and accordingly you take the process forward, right? So that is something which we call it as paid search, where you will pay people to search for the product online. They are going to search for the product, and that will automatically increase the exposure levels. So that will come first when you search for something in your web page, okay, the home page, right? So that is the tactic that is being used by a lot of brands today. Search engine marketing plays a very important role. And apart from this unpaid search is something where people will organically come and search for your products and services, and more number of people search for a particular type of product. That is what would be visibly seen as soon as you enter something on Google and then click on it, right? So this is also something which has to be understood. And I was talking about pay per click. Yes, so every click the customer makes is actually counted, and that is what will determine the position of that particular product in the online space or the digital space or on search engines, right? So when we talk about pay per click, it's like for every click the company is going to give you money. So this is a way in which you create a customer base for yourself, and once you have more number of people clicking on to the same website, that will automatically give more reach. And whenever you go to Google and search for something, when there is something which has more clicks, right, the moment there is one website or web portal which has more number of clicks, that will automatically come at the first. Got it? So that is how your search engines work, right? And then content marketing also is going to be very important. So whatever message you put to the market, it has to have a content in it. It can be content which showcases the benefits to the user. It can be content which showcases the availability, the accessibility, the usability, and the durability factors. So these things are automatically going to create a very good, very good niche for yourself in the market, and that is what is going to help you to survive in the long run as well, right? Apart from this, if you can see, we are also trying to touch upon social media vehicles. So social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and so on are actually being used for your for sharing and marketing your communication, or marketing your business brand communications. So that is also something that companies can think of. And there are a lot of companies who have their social media presence just to make sure that they are not missing out on the online customer traffic, right? So these are the various aspects that becomes a part of digital marketing. So now we will go to the next trend, that is green marketing. Now what is green marketing? Now this image itself gives you a lot of clarity and an insight regarding what green marketing could actually be, right? Now in green marketing, it refers to the practices taken by companies and brands and manufacturers where they take up necessary precautions to produce products which do not necessarily create any harm to the environment or the ecological balance factors. Okay, so in green marketing, what basically happens is we are speaking of the best practices, the most ecologically, eco-friendly practices, and those practices which is always going to create some sort of benefit to the ecological factors, and it should not create or threaten the ecological factors and aspects. Okay, so green marketing can consider three levels of activities. First is when you are sourcing, make sure that you are not trying to take all that which is there in the nature. You are also taking care of your sustainable development goals. Okay, and the second thing is when you are manufacturing a product, make sure that your process of manufacturing is not harming the environment, right? Because there are a lot of processes where, or there are a lot of equipments where they will discharge harmful chemicals and harmful gases post during the process of producing a particular product, right? So these things should be considered. You'll have to come up with innovative technologies which can reduce the harmful effects on the environment also, right? And the third is at the time of packing, labeling, and then consumption also. So when you're packing the products, make sure that you don't use plastic, because plastic is not degradable. That can cause a lot of issues to the society, and also it can bring down the it can create a lot of trouble, because these kind of plastics can have a lot of issues, right? Ultimately they also have a chemical base, they are not degradable, and it can create a lot of problem, right? And apart from this, when you're talking about consumption, that is also equally important. So your product which you produce should be produced keeping in mind all these parameters. And to be very specific, at the time of consumption, your product should not create harm, any form of harm to people who consume it, right? So that is also something that you must keep in mind when you talk about a concept on green marketing. So let us go by the slide and see what all extra points we will have to know. Okay, the first is, if you see, green marketing is basically a process of promoting products or services which is based on their environmental benefits. So we are looking at what kind of environmental benefits that you can create, so that you are actually taking care of the environment and also making your own and also filling your own pockets through your profits, right? Now apart from that, there are several companies where they go for organic products or green marketing practices, where they are using that as a way to better reach out to the markets. And today consumers are also becoming very conscious, right? So we as consumers, we also feel that we should also take that initiative to maintain ecological balance in our country or wherever we stay. So we are also becoming more conscious about what kind of products we consume, what kind of products we buy and use, right? So that is also something where, when companies really strive to maintain the ecological balance through their process of production or packing, labeling, or distribution, or even consumption, that is where they can showcase their true eco-friendliness to the environment. Okay. Now, when we say companies being eco-friendly, it basically includes these following practices. So by doing these things, automatically companies are being more conscious of the environment, and also they are taking special initiatives to not to harm the environment as well, right? The first is, you should always make sure that you are manufacturing your products in a much more sustainable manner. That is very important. So whenever you produce something, your process of production should not create any sort of issues and problems to the environment. Take care of that. Come up with alternative machines and technologies which can reduce the harmful discharge of chemicals to the environment. The second is not containing toxic materials or ozone depleting substances. Yes, you know, right? There are several industries, for example, dye making industries, chemical engineering industries, chemical industries, right? And also some industries which, which produce some harsh, chemicals which are being exported to foreign countries, right? Now, these kind of companies will automatically discharge a lot of toxic and chemical discharge. So you will have to make sure that you come up with an alternative way of producing these products so that you can reduce the chemical discharge capacities. And also you should make sure that your product or service should not threaten the ecological balance. That is also equally important. And then produced from recycled materials or able to be recycled. Yes, this is also equally important. You should make sure that your product has the capacity to be recycled and reused, so that there is no wastage, and there is no, uh, 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 resource wastages, because we are using a lot of money to produce products and services. So that is also something that has to be considered. And then made from renewable materials. Yes, renewable materials will always help you, because the more and more you use, it has the capacity to be renewed again and again, so that you don't go extinct with respect to those resources, right? And then not making use of excessive packaging, because you see that a lot of companies today are using, plastic and certain chemical based package. Now that is automatically going to adversely affect the success rate of companies, because that is automatically going to bring down the reputation of companies, because they are not considering the impact that these packets will have, or these packages would have on the environment, right? Because everything that comes with a product is something where you should know how to discharge it. I'm talking about the packages, where to discharge it. Because when you're talking about polythene or plastic covers, when you have that as a part of your package, it is not degradable, and you cannot, reduce the impact, right? So that is the reason we say you have to always be very conscious. And apart from that, you should be very cautious regarding what kind of packaging material you use in packaging your products, so that it is not causing any harm to the environment, right? And the last is designed to be repairable and not thrown away, which means we're all talking about recycling, reusing, repairable, so that you don't waste anything. So whatever you use, you keep using it again and again. For example, there are several products where you can use the contain after consuming the product which is inside the packet. You can use the packet to store something and keep it in your fridge, right? So these kind of alternative strategies can be used, so that you are not necessarily throwing out items which is causing environmental degradation. Instead, you reuse that for some other purposes, right? For example, if you're talking about, plastic pots or plastic jars and plastic cups, majority of us, what we do, we consume whatever is inside the plastic cup and we just throw it, right? And once you throw it, when it is not properly discharged, it creates a lot of issues in the environment, because plastic is very harmful, right? Now in that case, what you can do is, you can at least use that plastic cup where you can put some soil, and then you can grow some small plants, okay? And that also you can use it. So every item that is there, you can reuse it, and you can maintain that also, right? For example, I know we can see that there are several people who put some, who can grow coriander leaves in these cups, or they can use it for some other purpose, or they can use it for some sort of arts and craft works, which they can use it in their houses also as a part of decor, right? So these kind of alternatives have to be initiated by customers also. That is when we know, I mean, we can reduce the impact, right? And the next is, there are three angles and perspectives of marketing a company's eco-friendliness. As I already told you, first is the items used to make the product, the raw materials. Okay, if you are using items which are harmful, which have a high chemical base, then that is not good, and that is not green marketing practice. The second is the actual product that you are going to give to the market. So if your product is very organic, and if it is not having any sort of, negative components or chemical base, so even though when people use it and consume it, they are not going to have an impact. Apart from this, it is also not going to have an impact on the ecology or the environment. Third is the packaging, the products are sold in, which means the packet should not have a chemical base, or neither should it be, neither should it have plastic in it. And you should also be very careful that the packet should have the capacity to be degraded or degradable, so that you don't have, so that it doesn't have a negative impact on the environment. Apart from this, if you can see, there are some facts which I'm giving you. 48% of US consumers say that they would definitely or probably change consumption habits to reduce environmental impact, which means this is the reason I already told you that consumers today are becoming more conscious. They are taking extra step to make sure that from their side they take the initiative to reduce the environmental, environmental hazardous aspects. And they're also trying to take care with a lot of initiatives where they take up a lot of organic farming. There is something called as a terrace garden which consumers today take. We all use that so that we grow our own food and our own consumables. So these are also certain things which are being done by a lot of consumers. Okay. And if you see, the sales of organic products has substantially increased, isn't it? So that is also something that you can talk about from this point. Now, apart from this, if you see, products with sustainable attributes have been steadily taking more share of sales from 19.7% in 2014 to 22.3% in 2017, and it is anticipated to increase by 25% in 2021. Okay. And apart from that, if you can see here, 90% of millennials say they are willing to pay more for products which are organic and which are environment friendly. And there is also another concept that we should be knowing, which is called as greenwashing. See, there are several brands where they just try to showcase that they are very environment friendly and they have a very organic base for their products and so on. Now, in reality, when you just go and cross check their products, it would be far from the truth, right? So that kind of practices we also call it as deceptive practices in marketing, where they make false claims. So when a company does not necessarily use green marketing strategies or eco marketing strategies, and still just for the sake of showcasing and creating a good reputation in the market, they say that they are very green oriented. Now that kind of practice is officially termed as greenwashing. So greenwashing is unethical and it is also a punishable offense. Okay. Now the next is, there is something that we can talk about under green strategy, where companies can use these strategies to effectively help the environment and also help the ecological balance. The first is you reduce the use of plastic and harmful chemicals and harmful, a discharge of chemicals so that it does not cause harm to the environment. Second is we reuse items. You don't throw them away. You reuse it again and again, so that that item is being used for some purpose or the other, where you're not just throwing it away and creating a lot of environmental issues. Like I was talking about these plastic cups, which you can use them for some craft purposes. You can use them for growing some plants at home, and accordingly you can reuse it. Okay. And the next is, we are talking about recycle. So every product that is there in the market should have the capacity to be recycled and reused, so that you are not letting it out to go in the environment and have a and play a very negative role in bringing down the the real value of the environment. Because when we try to discharge these kind of non biodegradable elements, this is always going to cause some sort of an issue to the environment. And the final thing is repair. So you should have the ability to repair these items, reuse it, reduce it, and also to recycle. So this is automatically going to make the environment more ecological and also more, more proficient in maintaining the ecological balance as well. The next is, why green marketing? Why do you think green marketing is essential and important? First is, it becomes a social responsibility or a CSR initiative that every company should go green and be more organic. Second is, there is a lot of governmental pressure where the government of the state or at the central level come with initiatives, rules and norms where they prescribe the standards of operation, and they also make sure that your operation or your product or your production process does not create any sort of threats to the environment. The next is competitive pressure. Yes, now if you are somebody who's very organic in your approach, then you will be given much more importance by your customers. So being organic and going green is actually speaking, it is a way of strategizing yourself into the market, and it is also a way in which you can actually have an edge over your competitors. The next is cost issue. Yes, see, instead of using a lot of chemical base and doing it, which is automatically going to increase the cost and investment, when you go green and go organic, automatically the cost is going to be a little less. So this also is something which is going to have an impact. Apart from this, actually speaking, cost can have both the sides to it. When you're talking about very organic practices, what happens is you will have to use, a natural manure which will be used to get the yield of your products, right? Like they use cow dung, they use urea, that is the urine of cows. So this is also used to have a better yield in the farmlands, so that you don't have to necessarily invest on harsh chemicals to get the good yield, right? So that is also something that you can keep in mind. And finally, green marketing is still in a place where you have a lot of opportunities. So when companies really want to find good success in the long run, they can use green marketing as a very good avenue for creating a lot of business opportunities, right? And then we go to the next trend, that is viral marketing. So in viral marketing, we all know that see, whenever there is an information passing on to the market, it automatically spreads, immediately and quickly and very fastly also, right? So viral marketing is a concept where you or your information gets passed on like a virus from one person to another and another to several people, and that process will automatically give a very good reach for whatever message is being used in the concept of viral marketing. Like we say, right, viruses can easily attract and they can actually multiply into multiple folds. Similarly, viral marketing is also a practice where we use these kind of viral marketing, strategies to better connect with a lot of customers, because in viral marketing it's all about people taking the initiative to share that, message to all of them. And it creates a very organic way of promotion where you don't pay people to do it, but they do it voluntarily, and this will automatically increase a positive word of mouth in the market. So viral marketing does have a very good impact. Now when you see, there are several platforms where you can actually use these platforms to make sure that your message is getting more viral in nature. For example, all thanks to the advent of internet, social media, there are a lot of people who actually end up making memes. They share your content, they like your content, and they also forward that message to others when you're talking about WhatsApp and so on, right? So this way, by using these kind of platforms, your message is actually getting reached to a lot of people. So viral marketing is a very simple concept where anything that happens which catches the fancy and eyes of people, that will automatically be shared to others. That is the reason in viral marketing you should know what kind of tactic to use, how to better reach out to the market, and that is automatically going to give you very good success in the long run. For example, there is something called as ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. Now, this particular challenge, which actually had a much more valid reason to come up with, but also if you see, this challenge becomes so popular that a lot of celebrities, a lot of sports personalities and athletes, and even common people like you and me started using this challenge, and it had a very good reach using TikTok as a platform or a medium. Got it? So this is also something that becomes a part of viral marketing. So this particular diagram just gives us an understanding of as to how viral marketing really works, right? So the first is you have one person here. You can see here you have one person here. Now this person is sharing a message to three people, and these three people like it, they wanted to share it to somebody else, so automatically they talk about it, they share it, they share the content related to it, automatically it goes to several people. And once all these people like it, again they are going to share it to their own, sources, wherever they have people, wherever they connect with a lot of people, and that is how things become more viral. So viral marketing is not easy without having your social media platforms, digital space, because these are all the ways in which you can actually create very good viral marketing, and that is the way in which you can connect with a lot of people also. Okay, so in viral marketing, to be very specific, we use these items or these platforms to better reach your message and make it more viral. First is advertising. When your advertisements are very effective and innovative, your ad videos will automatically be shared by a lot of people on various platforms. Social networking potential, we are talking about Facebook, Twitter, and many more. Now these including your Instagram. So we all know, right, we all stay in a very insta culture, so everything gets shared online, and these social networking platforms give you very good potential to better reach out to the market. Okay, apart from this, if you have a video, the video clips get shared by a lot of people, automatically it becomes more viral, and there is a much more base customer base that you can actually create. And all thanks to internet also, internet has made the impossible possible, right? So just by a mere click of a button, you can actually share a lot of information to the market. That is what is going to help you to better reach out to different people. And interactive games, automatically, yes, now these kind of interactive games will provide an avenue where you can better interact with the game itself, and you can also have a very good reach out to the market, where it creates a platform where you can have an interaction, and that will automatically create a very virtual based context which is going to keep you engaged and connected till you finish that game. So interactive games are also certain things where you can put your messages and accordingly find a market. And word of mouth is one of the most traditional and the most easiest ways to share out to share your information, your marketing information. So word of mouth also is equally important that you need to keep in mind. And of course, smartphones, these days smartphones are used for several purposes. Now this is also one of the ways or avenues where you can actually share a lot of information. It can be videos, it can be audio clips, it can be images, whatsoever. Even if we can talk about GIFs, right? So that is also something which can be used and shared by a lot of people who hold smartphones. Okay. The next is we'll be discussing about social marketing. Now in social marketing, there is no specific goal of making profits or making sales. The predominant thought that one should have when he or she understands social marketing is that you are trying to focus on certain pressing issues of the society, certain sensitive issues of the society, and trying to bring about a behavioral change or a thought change, so that that is going to create a lot of positivity in the society where you have a lot of people living, right? So social marketing, apart from marketing or selling your products, you are selling ideas, you are selling the new ways of thinking, and you're also marketing how you are supposed to behave and conduct yourself, so that we live in a very, in a very calm and a very positive atmosphere. Okay. And there shouldn't be problems and issues amongst ourselves. There should be a friendly environment where everybody is going well with every single person, and your overall welfare and well-being is what is being put into consideration when we talk about a concept on social marketing. Okay. So let us discuss that one by one. So in social marketing, here these marketing practices or strategies are initiated to bring about a social change, and that does not make any difference in terms of your sales potential or your sales volume, right? So here in social marketing, there are specific initiatives taken by a lot of brands or companies or even government associations for that matter, where they want to raise awareness about certain pressing issues or certain sensitive issues, so that people get to know them and accordingly shift their thought process and their behavior also. Okay. So as I already told you, in social marketing, we don't sell any products. There is no profit motive. Instead, we are selling behaviors, how you're supposed to behave, how you're supposed to conduct yourself in the society, how you're supposed to, take care of the members of the society, and how you're supposed to take special care of the good of the public as a holistic approach. Okay. So that is also something that would be considered. And here we are just trying to create an awareness where you are trying to help people to differentiate between what are good practices and bad practices, and how these practices can have an impact on the society at large, right? And the social norms, the social practices, the general principles of the society, these are all the things which are mostly upheld under social marketing, because we are creating a very good space for people to live and survive in, right? So that becomes the prime objective of social marketing. And the next is, social marketing is commonly used for causes. Like, what are the various causes for which people use or take up social marketing? You can look at here. We have categorized that into three. Okay. First is health and safety. So there are several social marketing campaigns where they specifically focus on maintaining the health and giving the awareness about health and safety to people. Like, for example, anti-smoking campaigns, anti-drug campaigns, promoting exercise and healthy eating habits, and then safe driving. So any ad which showcases these aspects will automatically come under social marketing. The next is environmental causes, where we are focusing more on bringing about the general level of awareness regarding environmental sustainability. So they focus on messages like anti-deforestation, anti-littering, and endangered species awareness. So this is also something that companies take up just to make sure that they are more responsive to the environment where they live in. Okay. The next is We talk about social activism. Now in social activism we are referring to the discriminatory practices that takes place in different forms, okay, and also in different intensities. So here we focus more on eliminating struggles that people of color, people with disabilities face, and trying to make sure that this is not right. See, the racial discrimination or any sort of discrimination is not right. So you should make people understand that you should live in a very collaborative manner, and you should live and let live. That is what ultimately matters the most, right? And you should be less of a judgmental kind of a person, because being judgmental is not a good trait of a good person, right? You should be more acknowledging, you should be more understanding of people and whosoever and whatever they are, so that that is when you create a very healthy atmosphere and environment for people to live together, right? So we also include things like anti-discrimination, anti-bullying. So these kind of things should not take place, because that is going to cause serious damage to people and their psychology, right? So that is the reason in social marketing it is more about selling your ideas, selling the thoughts, selling the behavioral changes to people, so that they know how to conduct themselves, because we all live in a very socially constructed setup. So you should know how to connect with people, and you should also know that you need to connect with people at a much more personal and sensitive level. So you should not be judgmental, you should not try to pass on judgments about people, because that is not right, and that is going to create a very negative rapport, and the environment is going to become very hostile also, right? So that is what we put under social marketing. The next topic would be buzz marketing. Now, buzz marketing is very simple, because sure, what happens is whenever you do things in a very different way as a company or as a brand, automatically that is going to be liked by a lot of people, because there is something new for them to see. Now, once these kind of new things take place, that is always going to create a very good buzz in the market, right? Whatever strategies you use, that should effectively reach to the market. That is what is going to create a very good buzz value for your company. Got it? So buzz marketing, again, you can use the online virtual medium or offline medium, where you can share your messages, where people share it and they also talk a lot about it. Once you are innovatively doing things, automatically it would be liked by a lot of people, and that is what is going to make them share your content to the other people. Now this will automatically create a very positive buzz about you. It is also going to create very good reputation, and your reach and coverage is going to increase in any market, irrespective of geographical boundaries, right? So that is something that we can talk about under buzz marketing. And buzz marketing is something where you will automatically make people speak about your product or your service, and that is going to create a very good buzz value for yourself in the market. And apart from this, the term buzz marketing can also be alternatively termed as astroturfing. Now this is also very similar, where we are just trying to say in astroturfing, we are just trying to connect with a lot of people, where you share a lot of your information, and this information gets shared by a lot of people. In return, you get a very good reach and coverage in the market. Okay. And the next is, when we're talking about buzz marketing, there are a lot of companies where they create online videos which has the influence of humor, controversies, and outrageous acts of people. Now this is also something which people get to talk about, and that will automatically create a sensation in the market. Once a sensation is created, that will automatically get shared in the market through various social media platforms. Okay. One of the best is your YouTube. YouTube uses a lot of initiatives where the videos that they share, when it is really good, the customers or viewers will automatically share that to their friends and their close circles, right? And then in buzz marketing, we also make sure that a lot of companies go for hashtag kind of options, where they can make a topic trending, and these things can automatically connect with a lot of people. And once certain videos are very popular, people will want to download it, they want to share it to their near and dear ones. So this is also automatically going to create a very good buzz value. To be very practical, there are some companies who actually use buzz marketing as a strategy. Apple, for example, there are a lot of initiatives and innovative campaigns that Apple takes up to create that buzz value. Apple, first of all, for a product like of or for a brand like Apple, there is no need for you to create extraordinary strategies, because the brand speaks for itself. But still, Apple makes sure that it comes with its own innovative strategies and practices which can effectively connect with the market, and that will automatically create a very good buzz value in the market. market. Okay. The next is we talk about Starbucks. Now, you know, right? Now, Starbucks is one of the elite brands which comes from the overseas market, and we have several Starbucks outlets in India. To be very specific, in Bangalore as well, right? Now, what is that? What is it that makes people share a lot of content or share a lot of experiences about Starbucks? The first is they are known for their brand. They are known for the top-notch quality in everything that they deliver and offer to the market. The ambience in Starbucks, outlet is very good. They provide high customized and personalized services. Now, when you try to provide these kind of benefits to the customers, that is automatically going to create a positive buzz in the market, and you can increase your potential to get new customers to the business as well. To be very specific, if you can see, I can tell you how they try to create an offer innovatively. Okay, first is the name of the customer is illustrated with a happy expression on the bottle, so that you're actually connecting to every single customer who comes to that particular outlet, and there is this personalized connect that customers can develop with the brand. And then the staff will always be there with a smiling face. Now, that is very important. The staff, how they serve you, how they treat you, matters the most in service industry. And then the company is known for offering the best quality in the market, which means the quality of the product which is offered by Starbucks cannot be replaced or replicated by any other brand. Of course, yes, we do have competitors of Starbucks, but Starbucks always has its own way of delivering, and its own way of reaching and connecting to the ultimate customers. And the atmosphere, the space inside the outlet of Starbucks, and then they have comfortable seating space. They have very good orchestral music, which always creates a good mood, right? And you will automatically start feeling that you need to stay in that spot for some more time. But this is how people can actually make you engage, and they want you to stay with the brand for a long time, and that will always create a good memory, and you will want to relive the same moment. So you will obviously end up coming again and again to the same outlet. Okay. And then they give free Wi-Fi. So this is also something that a lot of us actually want, because we all stay online and we have a lot of things to be done online. So we believe that when we get free Wi-Fi, that is also a reason for us to go to a particular outlet. And they also give a lot of loyalty gifts and loyalty cards and many more things like that, just to keep the customers engaged. So once you do all these initiatives and when you practically put them forward, this will automatically get shared, and that is how a buzz is created in the market. Okay. And the next and the last trend in marketing would be multi-level marketing. So what is multi-level marketing? It is also in short form called as MLM, or network marketing. Now, in multi-level marketing, it is a very simple concept. There are a lot of companies who opt for direct sales, where they will directly sell it to the prospective buyers. Now, in the process, what they do is they will have, see, for example, it is given here. MLM is a strategy that some direct sale companies use to encourage existing distributors to recruit new distributors who are paid a percentage of their recruit sales, which means every company goes for direct sales. They will have some distribute in-house distributors, and these distributors can again recruit new distributors, so that the channel of distribution is expanded, and you can cover a larger part of the globe through this distribution system. Now, that is what is making your MLM more effective. Okay. Now, if you see, the recruits are distributors downline, which means it has a pyramid structure. So the company comes first, then you have the sales team, and then you have the distributors. And these distributors are made to connect and bring in new distributors, so that you don't leave even a single area uncovered. That is what happens in multi-level marketing. Okay. And if you're talking about brands which use this strategy, Amway uses this. Apart from this, Herbalife, they actually have customers, they have their own distributors, and these distributors are actually recruiting new distributors, so that the channel of distribution is expanded. They'll be able to cover a lot of areas, and that will automatically create you great potential to sell your products. Okay. Like there are some brands like Herbalife, where once you want to buy a product, they ask you to become a member. Now, once you become a member, in order to make you sell their products, they will say that, sir, you can sell these products, you can actually refer the product to your near and dear ones and friends. So automatically they are going to give you a cash rebate on the total bill value. So this is a way in which you can actually convert your customers also to become your distributors, so that your distribution system is becoming more effective. And we know as consumers, once we get some loyalty points, we want to use that. There are several people who do that. So consumer automatically becomes a distributor, and he will bring in new distributors or recruit new distributors, and that is the way MLM works. There is a lot of problem with MLM because according to Federation of Trade Commission, they have been investigating multi-level marketing companies, and they feel that this is not ethical because you are trying to use almost everybody in the market to become your distributor, and this is not right because it is also something which can threaten a lot of other people who are just new entrants into the market, right? And it has its own structure where you are actually trying to exploit a lot of people to become your distributors. As a result, it is more profiteering oriented, and you are not bringing the balance between what you offer versus what you cater to the what you can actually cater to the requirements of the market. So that is also something that you must keep in mind when we talk about multi-level marketing. Now, multi-level marketing has three different forms of selling. First is called as pyramid selling. In pyramid selling, we use this. So if you can see here in this particular slide, there is a pyramid structure followed. You have the company has its distributors, and these distributors are going to identify some more distributors to add in the chain of in the chain of distribution, right? And that is called as pyramid selling. And there is a flow in which it happens. So this can be a perfect way to understand pyramid selling, this particular model. The next is we have network marketing. So every distributor has his own network with several people who can act as distributors. Through this network, he's going to push the products and make sure they sell it and get some benefits out of it, which means they are making them to sell the products to the market, and they are also going to give them some amount of some percentage of commission. So that is going to help them in the long run. The last is called as referral marketing. Referral marketing is very simple. Now let me say that I'm working as a distributor, and I refer my product to other distributors and other customers. And through that process, I'm actually converting the customers also to become a distributor, where they also put an effort to sell the products to their customers or the other people. And that way, your distribution system is becoming more, expandable. And that way, you can connect to a lot of untapped markets also, right? So this is a standard model that you can see where you have company has different, company has different distributors, where it is going to give a commission for every sale that has been affected by the distributor. And then you have the resellers or the furthermore distributors who are recruited by the distributors, and for this you are going to give them the commission, right? So it is basically a practice where for every sale you make, you get some benefit out of it. That is what is actually making people to practice these kind of channels or these kind of marketing aspects, right, or flows. The next is, if you see, the problem is that in multi-level marketing, all those people who come at the topmost layers are the ones who actually make good amount of money. Okay, because they just ask you to do the work and you do the work, and whatever comes as profits, they take it off. But the remaining people who are there at the lower level, they are the ones who don't make any money because they are constantly selling the product, and the margin they fix is not going to be adequate because you will have a higher margin to pay to your above layers. So these people have higher margin layers, these people will have lesser margin layers, so automatically they hardly make any money through their involvement. But when you're talking about this layer, they make a lot of money because they are easily getting their work of distribution done by them, and their percentage is always given much more priority. So this is one of the major drawbacks when we talk about multi-level marketing. Okay, so students, by this we are done with the various trends or new trends in marketing. I hope this session was very insightful, and I hope that you were able to understand all the trends in a very simplified manner. And students, if you still have any queries, you please let me know. I'll help you out. Okay, thank you, students.